The Three Little Javelinas by Susan Lowell.
Once upon a time, way out in the desert, there were three little javelinas. Javelinas are wild, hairy, self-looking cousins of pigs. Their heads were hairy, their backs were hairy, and their bunny legs, all the way down to their hind-legged hooves, were very hairy, but their snouts were soft and pink. One day, the three little javelinas wanted a way to seek their fortunes. In this hot, dry land, the sky was almost always blue. Steep purple mountains looked down on the desert where the cactus forest grew. Soon the little javelinas came to a spot where the path divided and each one went a different way.
The first little javelina wandered lazily along. He didn't see a dust storm whirling across the desert until it caught him.
The whirlwind blew away and left the first little javelina sitting in a heap of tumbleweeds, brushing himself off, he said.
I will build a house with them.
Oh, in no time at all, he did. Then along came a coyote. He ran through the desert so quickly and so quietly that he was almost invisible. In fact, this was only one of Coyote's many memorable tricks. He laughed when he saw the tumbling house and smelled the javelina inside. A tender juicy piggy! He thought Coyote was tired of eating mice and rabbits, he called out sweetly. Little pig, let me come in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Shouted the first little javelina, who had a lot of hair on his chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in,
said Coyote, and he huffed and he puffed and he blew the tumbleweed house away.
But in all the hoppabaloo, the first little javelina escaped and went looking for his brother and sister. Coyote was very sneaky, tucked on behind. The second little javelina walked for miles around the cactus fields to go to Wales. They held the ripe red fruit high in the sky, but they made almost no shade, and the little javelina grew hot. Then he came upon a Native American woman who was gathering sticks from inside a dried-up cactus. She planned to use these long sticks called throw to knock down the sweet cactus fruit. The second little javelina said, "Please, may I have some sticks to build a house?" "Oh," she said, which means yes in the language of the desert people.
When he was finished building his house, he lay down the shade. Then his brother arrived, panting from the heat, and the second little javelina moved over and made a place for him.
Pretty soon the Coyote found the Subaru Rip House. He used his magic to make his voice on Pretty soon the Coyote found the Subaru Rip House. He used his magic to make his voice sound just like that of javelina.
Little pig, let me come in." Stop. Austin, he called, but the little javelina was suspicious. The second one cried, "No, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. I'm going to eat your hair." Thought Coyote. Then Coyote smiled, showing all his sharp teeth. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. So he huffed and he puffed and all the long waves came tumbling down, but the two little javelinas escaped into the desert. Still that discouraged Coyote. Oh, sometimes his magic did fail, but then he usually came up with another trick.
The third little javelina trotted through beautiful Palo Verdes, with green trunks and yellow flowers.
She saw a snake sliding by smooth as oil. A cock floated around and around above her. Then she came to a place where a man was making a doughy brick of mud and straw.
The bricks lay on the ground, baking in the hot sun. The third little javelina thought for a moment and said, "May I please have a few doughies to build a house?" "See," answered the man, which means yes in Spanish, the bookmaker's language. So the third little Javelina built herself a modest little adobe house, cold in summer and warm in winter. When her brothers saw the two, she welcomed them in and locked the door behind them. Coyote followed their trail. Little pig, let me come in. He hollered. The three little Javelinas looked up the window. This time Coyote pretended to be very old and weak, with no teeth and a sore paw, but they were not fooled.
No, not by the hair of my chinny chin.
Called back the third little Javelina.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
Said Coyote. He grinned, thinking of the wild pig dinner to come.
Just try it.
Shouted the third little Javelinas. So Coyote huffed and he puffed, but the adobe rigs did not budge. Again, Coyote tried.
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in. The three little Javelinas covered their hair with earth. But nothing happened, so the Javelinas stopped doing them. The tip of Coyote's raggedy toe was right next past their noses. He was climbing upon the tin roof next. Coyote used his measures to make himself very skinny. The stovepipe. Yes, said the little Javelina. Quickly, she lighted a fire inside the wood stove. What a feast it will be, Coyote said to himself. He squeezed into the stovepipe. I think I'll eat them with red hot chili sauce.
Whoosh! Sizzle. Then the three little Javelinas heard an amazing noise. It was not a bark, it was not a cackle, it was not a howl, it was not a scream.
It was all those sounds together.
Yip, yep, yip, yo! Away went a purpose built safely to the Coyote. The three little Javelinas lived happily ever after in the adobe house. And if you ever hear Coyote's voice way out in the desert at night,
Well, you know what he's remembering.
bye!